Hi, Taurus. This is going to be the reading for that last week of August 2022, and that's going to extend from the 21st through to the 31st. Now, I want to get this out there because the first couple of days of that last week, listen, you're going to be on red alert, okay? Your intuition is telling you something. It's warning you. There's something or somebody that you don't trust, and you don't want to be near this person, okay? It does talk about possibly you going on vacation. Maybe you're going to the country. Maybe you're going to get away from things for a while, and so you're going, maybe you have a cottage and you're going to the cottage, okay? Now, it does talk about somebody in your circle of energy, perhaps a Scorpio person who doesn't have the ability to control their emotions. And this is the person that you have to be guarded at. Now, maybe you don't want to feel guarded. Maybe this is someone you care about. Maybe this is someone you love. But this person is going through a lot of issues right now, a lot of emotional issues, okay? And so it does warn. Now let's just get this out of the way right away because the rest of the reading sounds pretty good, okay? But let's get this shit out of the way. So be very, very leery of this person, okay? Because they're having problems. They're not dealing with their problems in an appropriate way. And so you're going to have to be very, very vigilant, very careful. And I mean, it might be somebody you love, but lots of people just snap, right? And so be aware of this and don't put yourself in that circle of danger. But it also could talk about possibly you going to, maybe you're wanting to get involved in social activism and you're going to show your support for a particular group. Well, be aware that there may be people in that group that you really can't trust. That they're more aggressive than you're hoping for, okay? And so maybe you need to pull away from that. So indeed, if you are going to spend some time in nature, make sure it's someplace where the people that are there are very balanced in their emotions, okay? Because it also has to do with some type of addiction, someone who perhaps is dealing with an addiction. That addiction plus the imbalance in their spiritual, their emotional, their psychological state, and perhaps what they're going through now, those combined can make people do things that they regret later. But once the damage is done, the damage is done, right? So be very aware of this. And if you are planning on taking a vacay, I mean, this is the end of August, right? Like, maybe you can put it off a week or a couple of days, or maybe, encourage this person to, go visit Aunt Betty in another state. Or send this person, make sure this person has lots of time to themselves to heal, or don't be too aggressive with this person, or don't be too demanding with this person, okay? Keep everything zen. Even if you have to agree with somebody just to keep them zen, agree with them. I mean, unless it's something really bad, but it does talk about perhaps you taking on the burden of somebody else's inability to control their emotions, okay? Just remember, your instincts, Taurus, are bang right on. You can't necessarily fix what's bothering this person. Maybe you can lend him an ear, but I wouldn't be offering up any suggestions because this person has a very hidden, a very hidden type of energy, okay? They hide their real feelings. They hide what they're really thinking, okay? So be very aware of that, be very vigilant, and stay safe. Now, there's also something that's taking place here, and perhaps there's someone in your life who has found out about something health-wise, okay? Maybe something is in the early stage of development. But this may also be you, Taurus, okay? There may be something in your health that is taking place, and something is in the early stage of development. I mean, perhaps you're having problems with memory. Perhaps you're having problems with your lungs. If you're a smoker, this would be a great time to quit. Okay. Now it does talk about something taking place that has to do with home or security. And once again, I warned you, right? That first card is telling you, be aware. There is something taking place. So if you're in an environment where you would normally say, feel safe or serene, perhaps maybe in that fourth week of August, perhaps you could delay that trip, or maybe you could choose not to go there for that weekend, okay? Now we're in the last weekend. We're in the last week of August 2022. So if you're going to plan your vacation, plan it for the first part of August. Don't go the last week of August, okay? Just a little warning, that's all. Now, there might also be problems with flooding, maybe and security. Maybe somebody's going to break in. Maybe you have a cottage and somebody's going to break into your cottage. And you know what? If somebody breaks into your cottage, it's probably that Scorpio. That's what I'm saying to you. It's like there's something coming up. But there could also be issues with plumbing, and so you have a flood. Maybe your bathroom leaks, or maybe you have a cottage and it's close to the water and the water rises and there's some type of flooding, okay? There might be issues with plumbing. It does talk about water, okay? And an old wives' tale says that when you dream of water, it means trouble, okay? So be very, very leery of this, okay? Like I wouldn't be going fishing on a rowboat with anyone who's a Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? I just wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't take the risk. I don't care if it's like my best relative. I wouldn't care if it was my like ex. Well, actually, I would. But you wouldn't go fishing with someone who's a Scorpio. Just okay, because right now they're dealing with some issues that you can't fix. You can fix. Now, it's coming up again. It's talking about time spent in nature, staying away from the water. So any place that you're planning on going, stay the hell out of the water, okay? Now, you're going to have in this last week, you're going to have an aha moment. You're going to have a psychic revelation that's going to come into being, or your intuition right at that point is going to warn you of danger, okay? And it's talking about mid-month, okay? So I'm in the very last week of August. This reading is for the very last week of August. So there's going to be something that takes place in the mid-month of August that is going to carry on into this last week of August. Now, remember, this is not your issue, okay? This psychological or emotional issue is not your issue, but you're dealing with somebody who has this issue. Now, the health issue may be your issue if you're a heavy smoker, if you're trying to quit some type of addiction, if you're a heavy drinker, that may be what you're dealing with, okay? But it does talk about you taking your time and gaining some clarity on a situation that's taking place in your personal life with perhaps a Scorpio person, okay? Maybe there's something that they're dealing with health-wise that they haven't really told you about, okay? And so they're feeling that semblance of frustration and they're wanting to strike out at somebody because they feel like they don't understand why this is happening to them. And so they feel that aggression, that anger. They just want to strike out at somebody else and put the energy somewhere else so that they can feel serene, okay? So that's what's taking place. And this is the last week, so be aware of that. Now, next card that you have is talking about taking on more responsibilities than you can handle. You may be a little uneasy about making decisions, okay, or choices, and maybe you're not ready. Maybe you don't have enough resources. Maybe you don't have the money. Maybe you're wanting, it did talk about you wanting to get into a business or getting involved in some type of activity. Well, maybe you don't have the money. Maybe you don't have the time. Maybe you don't have the energy, okay? But it does say about postponing any tough decisions until you've gained some type of experience, or until you feel prepared, okay? It would be like running a marathon, okay? You're not going to run a marathon if you've been sitting on the couch watching YouTube for a couple of days. It's not time to go run a marathon, right? You need to practice, you need to plan, you need to build your body's what's the word, energy. You have to build your body up to that point so that you can run that marathon, okay? So it does talk about you postponing or delaying something until you're prepared or you're ready for it. Maybe you want to go on a trip, but you don't have enough finances. Could be as simple as that. Maybe you want to buy a house, but you don't have the money right now. You have to wait a little while. Maybe you want to buy a new car and you don't have the money right now to get that new car, okay? Now, it does talk about you and a partner having issues. Now, if your partner's a Scorpio, ooh, That's a tough one. But it doesn't have to be the Scorpio. It could be a love partner, okay? And perhaps you're disagreeing with how to deal with a Scorpio who has those problems. Perhaps one of the partners is saying, okay, well, let's just temper this. Let's just not mention it. Let's just let it play out. And maybe you're saying, no, 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 no. This Scorpio, we got to deal with this now. This person needs to get some help. We need to support this person in this self-help, okay, or whatever, right? But it does talk about you and a partner not agreeing on how to deal with something, whether it be a Scorpio, okay, whether it be a situation, whether it be a move, whether it be a vacation that you'd planned for this last week, and you're saying, well, you know what? I was listening to a psychic, and she said let's plan it for a week early or 2 weeks early. Let's not do it the last week, right? So maybe you guys are disagreeing, and I'm sorry if I started an argument. I'm so sorry. I want to pull out of this. Okay, so now it says that you're starting to think about yourself, okay? You're starting to think about what's going to benefit your life and what's going to be good for you, okay? And maybe you're not thinking about the other person, okay? Maybe you're starting to think, you know what? This isn't my issue, and maybe it is a Scorpio, and they're saying that's their issue. I've got to think about my health. And maybe your partner is saying, no, 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 we are in this together, and we need to take care of what is bothering Scorpio. So I'm kind of thinking that Scorpio might be a child of yours, okay? And perhaps it's you and your partner that are disagreeing on how to deal with that issue. And that's where this is coming in. Now, it does talk about inequalities in a relationship, okay? Maybe one person has more money, one person has more power, one person has more ability to deal with things. Maybe one person has more education. I don't know what it is, but one person, this scale in your relationship is imbalanced, okay? One person may have more power and control. One person may have more money, okay? Whatever it may be. One person may be healthier than the other person, and so they feel better, able to deal with whatever issue is taking place, okay? So it does talk about you having to balance things. And, maybe, in the balance card, I mean, maybe you're unable to balance it at this point in time. And maybe you need to realize that. Maybe you need to realize that you're taking on too many issues that belong to other people. And so you can't save the world. You can't save the world. You're just one individual. And even if you have a partner, maybe you and your partner need to sit down and talk about your relationship, okay? And if it is children, okay, and if those children are older, here's what you have to think about. You raised them. You did what you did. You did what you had to do. And it's great to support your adult children. And I mean, I'm one, I do that. I would do that. And I would always do that. Till the day I die, I will do that, okay? And I'm not saying don't do it. But what I am saying, and I'm single, so I don't got to worry about this shit, but maybe you do. But what I'm saying is maybe you and your partner need to find a balance in your relationship. And it has nothing to do with the children. Maybe it's where you need to focus on your relationship and bring your relationship into balance. And I'm telling you something here is that it looks like, and this is the only card I'm going to show you because it just takes too long, but this is the card I'm going to show you, and the reason why is because you've been dealing with so much shit, okay? And this card is the card that you hope for. Everybody hopes to get in their reading. And this card is the wish card. Sorry. And this means that you are going to get exactly what it is that you want. So if you're concerned about your health, and you're saying, am I going to heal? Am I going to be okay? Am I going to, if you're a smoker and you're thinking, Jesus, do I have emphysema? Am I going to stay alive? Am I going to be able to survive? The answer is yes. Yes, you are. And the reason why is because you have that inner strength to be able to quit. You just have to put it out there. You have to realize that your life is worth fighting for, okay? Now, it does talk about an attainment of wealth. It talks about you having intuitive knowledge and having these very meaningful dreams that are guiding you. There is someone on the other side, and it's a male energy that is coming in to protect and guide you. They love you. They fiercely love you, and they would have been someone who perhaps protected you in a previous life. It could be a brother. It could be an uncle. It could be a father. But it's someone who it could even be a son. And someone who has very strong energies, okay? And they were very protective of you, perhaps when they were alive. And this is what I'm talking about. Their spirit is coming forward and is giving you dreams and trying to tell you things, trying to connect with you. Maybe you haven't been getting the messages because you haven't been focused on it and you don't remember, and you don't want to think that there may be something to this, okay? But the truth is, this person is coming back to warn you, to heed their warning. Because if they're making that long journey back into our realm, you know what? They think you're worth it. So here's another little thing that's coming up with that wish card, okay? It could be gestation, it could be motherhood, parenthood, it could be you becoming a first-time parent or a first-time mother, okay? But it also could talk about perhaps you had concerns about a child. And this is the wish card. If you're wishing for health for a child, if you're wishing for inner harmony for a child, that is going to manifest. It may take time. It may take having to guide someone in the direction that they need to go, but it is going to be successful and fruitful, okay? It does talk about you receiving and providing emotional support for someone in your life, or perhaps someone providing that for you. It does talk about satisfying relationships, also romantic relationships. So if you have a partner, or if you have a spouse, or a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a close confidant, okay? That is going to balance out. You are going to find your balance. As in the middle part of this last week, when I told you that you need to find balance in your relationships, that is going to manifest. You are going to manifest that, okay? It's going to be a very satisfactory romance or marriage, okay? Your marriage is solid. If you're married, your marriage is going to become very solid, and you're going to be there for each other for all eternity. So indeed, you can't get any better than the wish card. It also talks about establishing connections with people of different races, ages, walks of life. So you're open. You're open up to getting involved with other people, connecting with other people. It's a yen. It's like a yearning that you've always had, where you need to belong, to be part of a group. And indeed, that's what's going to take place in this last week. It does talk about you living according to your spiritual principles. There's a family celebration coming up, perhaps a vacation, a wedding, a celebration of life, okay? And you can count on your family for support. They will be there for you. It does talk about you finding people that you belong with. It talks about you finding people that support you emotionally, psychologically, okay? So positive things are happening. So I'm so happy to see that. I know a lot of Tauruses. And indeed, if anyone deserves to have their wishes fulfilled, it would be Tauruses. So please, please, please enjoy your life in the month of August. You know, take those trips, enjoy those vacations, but do not do it in that last week, okay? Find a way to go early. Find a way to ground if you need to ground. Definitely focus on your partner at this point in time. And you know what? Life can be good, and life is meant to be good. And you know what, Taurus? Yours is on its way. So manifest this, grab onto it, and run with it to the finish line. So I shall see you in September. Bye.